Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's Sunday preview. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. A soupcon of chaos in the old world. As we struggle to catch a breather underneath the warpstone fog across the mortal realms, next week's releases comprise a classic chaos made to order for Warhammer, the old world. Not that you have much time, with Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 out tomorrow. Alright, so it's been a crazy couple of months from Games Workshop with non-stop releases, and it looks like it might be time to take a little breather. So there is a little video right here, but let's take a look at the full article. Alright, so we got some Warhammer the Old World Chaos models made to order. Hear the rhythmic thudding? That's the sound of the great hordes of chaos descending from the north, ready to scour the land for the dark gods. Grim times approach, and they bring some classic miniatures. Alright, so we got a bunch of classics returning for made-to-order basis. 4 veterans of the ruinous powers will be available on a made-to-order basis. The Sorcerer Lord on Chaos Steed, Chaos Daemon Prince with Sword, Daemon Prince with Axe, and Truly Revolting Chaos Spawn. All of these miniatures are made from metal, and as made-to-order products, they will be available from 10 a.m. local time on Saturday the 14th of September until 8 a.m. BST on Monday the 23rd of September. And these do take typically about 180 days to deliver, so about 6 months from when you order these made-to-order and pay to when they'll actually come to you. So some nice classic models right here. Obviously they don't hold up particularly well, but some of these were the models that we all grew up using. There's definitely some nostalgia element to these. So we have the Daemon Prince with wings and sword, and then we have the Chaos Spawn. This one is still pretty cool, honestly. Now compared to like some of the new sculpts and options and the plastic kits and everything, it doesn't hold up as well, but it's definitely a classic. And then we have the Chaos Lord on Steed. This one actually looks pretty decent. The face is a little bit janky, but overall still nice looking model. And then of course we have the Daemon Prince with wings and axe. And again, like the new Daemon Prince Chaos kit is like 40k and Sigmar, so it has a ton of options for both. It has a ton of weapon options you can do with a backpack, you can do with wings. And the new plastic kit is by far superior to this. But that doesn't take away from like the old nostalgia of like seeing these on the table back in the day. A lot of us had these models or wanted these models. So I do think it's very cool that Games Workshop is releasing a lot of this old stuff for people that want to pick up stuff from their old nostalgic collections or things that they didn't have when they were a kid. Especially as a lot of this stuff has been out of production for literally like years, in many cases decades. So it's almost impossible to get, and when you do, it's a massive premium. So when these made-to-order models do come back, you have an option to buy them at like current prices basically, which is still, in most cases, a pretty good deal relative to the old stuff. And with these all coming back in metal and not like resin, you're basically getting an option to buy a brand new version of an old kit substantially cheaper than you'd have to pay on something like eBay. So very cool. I like this as an option, even if I'm not going to bite on them. All right, and then coming from Black Library, we have the Twice Dead King collection. So really nice book set collection right here. We've got the 3 books in a special little case and everything, and these are the Necron themed books. The disgraced Lord Oltix was once the heir to the throne of an entire Necron dynasty, now relegated to commanding a dwindling garrison against never-ending orc horde. These truculent warriors are harbingers of an even greater threat, and to save the dynasty, Oltix, with the help of his neatly democrated personalities, must travel back to his former crown world and face a terrible horror, rooted in the origins of the Necrons themselves. Alright, so here we get a nice little look at these. So really nice covers right here, special edition, and then slide all together to give you like the Necron face out here. Very, very cool. Nice quality books. Obviously much more designed for like collectors or people that want to pick up the whole set as opposed to just the books themselves and actually read them. All of these sets look really nice on the bookshelf. Very good quality, very nice reads. The Twice Dead King collection collects Nate Crowley's 2 novels, Twice Dead King Ruin and Twice Dead King Reign, plus a novella Severed and the short stories 1 Million Years, The Life of Jethras the Martyr. In 3 volumes which each contain an author introduction, these volumes have brown ribbon bookmarks and contain full color art from the original covers, and they are displayed in a luxury slipcase. This collection is only available while stocks last. Twice Dead King Ruin is signed by the author. So signed and numbered. Doesn't specifically say how many of these are coming out, but we do find that typically with these collections, they do sell out relatively quickly as they're not like mass produced, but anybody that missed out on the individual novels has a chance to pick up the collector's edition. Really nice setup right here.
Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOgames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now, back to the video.
And then moving on to the officially licensed products. If you want a simple out-of-the-box Warhammer experience or know someone who would love to introduce to the hobby, we've got you covered with 3 brilliant introductory sets. These are available from Barnes & Noble in North America and selected retail chains in Germany, but not from Warhammer.com. So here we see the beginner set, and then we also have a Blitz Bowl Sports Mayhem and Space Marine Adventures Tyranid Attack. The Warhammer Age of Sigmar beginner set and Space Marine Adventures Tyranid Attack both contain push-fit miniatures which don't require clippers or glue to assemble. They are the ideal introductory products for people who want to dip a toe into Warhammer hobby. The miniatures Blitz Bowl Ultimate 2nd Edition will need some clippers, but you'll be rewarded with a fast-paced sports game that's nominally about scoring touchdowns, but really more about making your opponent's team eat dirt. Alright, so it doesn't really show what's in these various box sets, but I will take a look at a later date. But this is definitely going to be some of the new Skaven, probably like 20 clan rats, and then a squad of the new Stormcast with the hammers and shields. And then your like basic rules to actually play the game. These are nice introductory sets. They're typically priced pretty competitively over at Barnes & Noble. Type of thing where somebody might see the Warhammer or like Games Workshop logo and decide to dabble in the hobby, sort of breaching that gap between like the books, the video games, and the actual like tabletop war game. And then Blitz Bowl is basically like a miniature set of Blood Bowl. So you don't get like the full teams, but definitely get like a little entry point to kind of get through the gameplay and everything. So it looks like we've got the orcs versus the dwarves. Again, doesn't specifically break down what's in here, but we'll take a look at a later date. And then we have the Tyranid Attack. So it's usually like a handful of Space Marines fighting off some Tyranids. And I think the Space Marine games in general only come with the actual Space Marine characters and then like no bad guys. Typically we see these priced somewhere around like 40 to 60 bucks, much more in line with like what somebody would jump into or like put a toe in the hobby at a place like Barnes & Noble rather than like the bigger introductory or starter sets. They're oftentimes not the best deal if you're just after like the miniatures, but to get people into like the game, the hobby, and just kind of check out what tabletop wargaming is all about. This sort of bridges the gap between like your typical board game and like the full-on tabletop war game. And it's a great entry point or like gift setup. So very cool. We'll have a detailed look at these at a later date. But definitely nice to get a little bit of break from Games Workshop as they have been pouring out new releases lately. We've got a bunch of stuff still coming that's already been announced. A bunch of stuff that was box locked that we're expecting like the individual miniatures for sale before the end of the year. We've got a new edition of Kill Team. We've got all the Stormcast stuff coming out. And then before long after that, we'll have all of the Christmas boxes for 40K and Sigmar and maybe some other treats as well. So definitely nice to have a little bit of a rest week here. But yeah, always cool to see a lot of these old models coming back, especially on a made-to-order basis, so people have an option to get a hold of them without having to worry about them selling out or anything like that. The delay can be kind of a bummer, waiting 6 months, but the truth is they've been rolling out the old world stuff kind of slow anyway, and realistically, we've all got a nice pile of shame or pile of potential out there, or I like to call it my dragon hoard. So by the time these things actually ship out and you get a hold of them, you likely have already forgotten about them, so it's a nice little surprise when they do show up. And then a very cool little collection of the Necron novels right here for anybody that missed out on those or wants to get like this limited collector's set. Necrons definitely have some awesome lore, so really happy to see these coming back out for anybody that's interested in them. And then always cool to see some of these like Barnes & Noble exclusive little boxes. Relatively cheap price, usually have like a nice little game inside, something fun and easy to play. And then a decent amount of miniatures for people out there that are looking to check out like the miniature hobby, but not quite sure about a big box like Skaventide or one of the big starter sets. So let me know what you're most excited about, what you're going to be picking up this week. Does it feel good to have a little week off from like the massive pre-orders that have been coming out lately? I know my wallet is going to be happy with a little bit of a break. I've been picking up a crazy amount of Warhammer lately and super excited to work on some of the new projects. But it seems like before I even get started on one or before it even shows up in the mail, there's already something else cool coming. And we know there's a lot more coming before the end of the year. So definitely happy to have a little week off. Let me know down below if you share the same sentiment. And as always, special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on Games Workshop products. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and we can finally get a breath from the new releases. But don't breathe too deep because the Stormcast are probably coming next week, and I'm out of here.